What is up, guys? This is Mateo's 2020 politics here, and I wanted to do a prediction of Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. I did do one recently where I went hard on Biden because I do see him as a much different person now. I think people that are 90s Democrats, people who are old school Democrats, they fit Biden and he fits them because if you think about him, I think for now he's in first place in the primaries, but that's only because people only know him as the vice president. But what happens when he gets on stage for real and he starts talking and people hear what he's really about? They'll see him as a centrist. Look, he's anti-legalization of marijuana. He's pro-capital punishment, and he's the only Democrat running to officially allow corporate PAC money. Well, that was I checked that a couple weeks ago. So I mean, Seth Moulton um, could be um, could be too, but I don't really think so. So he has announced he's running on the 25th. Yeah, he released an announcement video. You could see that he's really out of touch. He really is because the way he talks, it's very much like the 90s where you don't lay out your policies. You just talk about the soul of America and restoring that American faith, which is way too general. You can't run a campaign on that. So I think he might actually lose. I thought he would lose when I was predicting him last time. Um, but yeah, he won. I think we're gonna make North Carolina safe because he is pretty linked in the South with all those laws he signed in. Now let's do some safe Republican states. Alrighty, this is basically it. So again, this is not a minority candidate. Joe Biden is not. He's just old school. That's really it. So yeah, guys, let's make the rest of this the rest of this country a battleground. Oh, I switched around South Carolina and Georgia, so let me just fix that. So Joe Biden, I mean, Donald Trump is in a very narrow lead, and again, I don't like Joe Biden anymore. I used to want to support him for 2020, but about a month ago, I realized who he really is. So what happens is that right now he has a very general group of supporters. It's older voters, um, a good portion of the black population, even young. But when people get to know about him, the only people supporting him anymore will be people who are probably above people who are in their 60s and above because they love him. They're used to they're older Democrats. Um, yeah, let's go through this. I think we could give Pennsylvania to Trump. Sure, Joe Biden was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, but I mean, I don't think that could actually help him win there. I don't think he's working class. He's kind of elitist. I think we could call Florida for Trump before Georgia. Same with Arizona. That does make Trump win. Um, wow, guys, he's really different. Okay, again, I was wrong this whole time, and the other predictors were out also wrong. Even if they made him lose, and here's why: they were making Biden lose for the wrong reason. They had a bias towards Trump. They just didn't want to admit that he was a weak candidate. Because the thing that's interesting about Trump is that he barely won the Rust Belt. He only won it by overall 100,000 votes. The whole Rust Belt combined, his net, uh, his net votes over Hillary were 200,000, and or around there, and that's what made him win the election. So Trump's approval rating has gone down 3% since his inauguration. So if you think about it, 2016 had low turnout. We could run a bad candidate and he'd still win in 2020 because 2020 would be the same as 2016 except Trump is less popular. So our turnout for the Democrats could be as low as 2016, and Trump would actually lose because he's much less popular. We don't actually need turnout at all in the 2020 election. We're gonna have more than last time anyway, so we're gonna win anyway. But I'm just saying that we don't need more turnout than last time to actually win, which is crazy to say. I think Biden could narrowly win Maine, but I think he could win Colorado, but I think he could have one delegate from Nebraska safe. Trump I see narrowly getting Nevada. He's gonna be liked by those very far right Latinos because there are a lot of those, and even in New York City. Um, so yeah, two more states. I'm gonna give Minnesota to Trump. I don't think Biden could. I really don't think Biden could appeal to Rust Belt, man. I really don't. Um, I think he'll narrowly go. I think he'll narrowly win, or sorry, lose Minnesota, but it could also go to him either way. Um, but he did also attack, and I think Trump could narrowly win Georgia. I don't think Biden could spark minority turnout. Look, if Hillary Clinton couldn't do it, and she's loved in the South, I mean, for goodness sakes, Georgia and North Carolina were like they were really too close to call for like half of the whole election night in 2016. Arkansas and Louisiana and also South Carolina. Even South Carolina was too close to call for like two poll closings. Um, so she's loving the South. She couldn't get Georgia, so I don't really see how Biden can. Thanks for watching this video. Ooh, Game of Thrones. And bye.